Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm Audrey and Kate's mom, and I wanted to give you guys an update on how things are going here in our household. I know any hope of trying to keep these updates at a reasonable interval where I follow a schedule and say, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do that every Friday. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna try. I know I always say that, but you guys can just laugh at me in the background since it never really happens. But anyways, we are all doing well, and I hope all of you guys are okay too. I know different places are slowly maybe trying to have things kind of get a little bit better with the whole coronavirus thing. In Japan, things are just sort of starting. It's sort of weird. But people, the numbers of people who are sick isn't so monumental yet that they're freaking out too much. And luckily here in Nagasaki, it's not too bad. We had the one, cruise ship problem, but the people that were on that, it was just strictly involving them. And so hopefully they haven't come out and shared anything with anyone. So we'll have to see. The big problem here is that they just don't test enough, so we just really have no idea what's really going on. So we're still personally, just by our choice of our family, kind of social distancing a lot and not going out as much as we might have before. We used to, like I mentioned, we used to go shopping practically every day, but now we try to go once every 10 days to 2 weeks maybe if we can. And we just go and get what we need and come back. And then of course if we can get some things from Amazon and stuff, we do that. But for the most part, we're trying to do that and not go out. We also are not going to see Audrey and Kate's grandma very much, and trying to we aren't going right now actually at all. We went once and a few weeks ago, and that was the last time that we were going to go for a little while till we could see what was going on. So and of course that because we're homeschooling, that's nice. We don't have to worry about any of that. Japan's school year started, but then they were very worried about things, and so we're right now looking at a time called Golden Week in Japan, and so they're having everyone have no school all the way until after Golden Week, and even the few days after that too. Golden Week usually it starts kind of around April 29th, which is a holiday, and I can't remember what the name of the holiday is, and they switched them too, so that was confusing. But it starts then, and then you have the three that are big, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Or depending on how the calendar is set up, it might be 4th, 5th, and 6th. But May 5th, for example, is Kids Day, Kodomo no Hi. So that day, because there's a bunch of holidays all in chunk, we call that a Golden Week, and lots of businesses are closed, and so it's a really popular time for people to go traveling. But everybody's really being encouraged not to go anywhere because of the spread of the virus, and so, but it's not like everyone, I think some people are taking it seriously, but a lot of people aren't. And the government's not really doing so much to make people feel like they have to obey, or they can't even really do that. They don't have the power to be that powerful, so it's a complicated thing. So we're just staying where we are and hoping and kind of seeing what happens after Golden Week and stuff, because it'll be a little crazy during this time. And we're just kind of hanging out and doing what we do every day and trying to stay safe and stuff. So that's a good thing. But other than that, we're just, you guys see us on live, and we do what we do here, and we were able to make some of our English lessons online, so that was good. And other than that, we're just, doing whatever we can here. Luckily, we live in a pretty far away place, and so there's not many things out here really, but of course, on top of that though, everybody isn't happy with everything here because it's so out in the middle of nowhere, so everybody goes shopping in other cities. So it's not like in the States, when you're, for example, in the States, if you live in the countryside, you really live there and you can't so easily, it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a trip to the city, like we used to say that all the time on the farm in Minnesota. My dad's from Winnebago, very small town, and we would joke, oh, are you going to go into town today, and Well, you go into town, which would just be Winnebago town, or you could go up to the city, and that would be, you know, maybe all the way up even to the Twin Cities, which would be quite a trip. So you have 4 hours or something. I don't know. But you know, here we can go to a pretty big city just in an hour. So it makes it, you know, a lot. It's not as far away as you might feel, you know. and that part's nice. But it can be dangerous in times like now. So I don't know what's going to happen. I hope everybody's safe. I hope everyone's okay. So we'll just kind of have to see. But we're doing everything we can to be safe. We're grateful that Kate's doing homeschooling, because hearing all this nonsense of, are they going to go to school? Are they not? I think they're talking, and I don't know for sure if this is finalized, but at least in Nagasaki, they're kind of throwing around the idea of just having the kids go to school during the important years. So that would be 6th grade, which is the last year of the elementary school, the last year of middle school, and I can't remember what was the other one. Was it the last year of high school, maybe? Yeah, might be something like that. They're, you know, trying to target the times basically when everybody's taking tests to get to the next level. So they're thinking of doing that, and then obviously spreading out the classrooms so that people aren't so close to each other or something. I have no idea what they're going to do. Sounds a little suspicious to me. But, and then the other thing they're talking about is possibly just calling it all dead all the way until through all of summer vacation, and then trying to start the school year in September. And they've, you know, there's been a whole group of people in Japan who've been really wanting to do that for a long time, wanting to copy the school system in the States and the start time. And so a lot of people have been trying to find a chance to do that, and it's like, oh, well, maybe this is the chance, you know. So I don't know if it's really going to happen. We really have no idea. We're just waiting to see. But so we're just, you know, hoping everything goes well, and I'm just grateful that Kate isn't there and she doesn't have all this. Will you have school tomorrow? Will you not? Will you have all those events you were so excited about? Nope, those are probably not going to happen this year. And then on top of that, oh yeah, and summer vacation, you're gonna have to come into school because we missed all of that. Ugh, that wouldn't be fun. So we're glad she's homeschooling, and she's doing great. It is quite a huge brain shock to suddenly have your entire day be in a different language, even though we speak English at home, and you know, we mix it up. It's not like we've ever tried and said, oh, Saturdays is the English days. No, yeah, we're just all completely mixed up. You know, one person will talk to somebody in English and they'll reply in Japanese. It's just all over the place. But, you know, just strictly listening only to English, and trying to think in English and trying to write in English, and reading is hard because she's not at a reading level where she can do that. So we read together and try to catch things up with her for her to do stuff. And so it's tiring, you know, just a short amount of study time can really, really make you feel exhausted. So we're trying to pace ourselves, and I think, you know, we'll be able to get pretty, you know, we're getting along at a pretty good pace, and she's doing good. So the nice thing about homeschool is that, you know, if you know what you're doing and you approach it right, you can get through, you know, quite a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time. And it just depends on how you approach the learning, I think, is the thing. I feel like that the best way has been that we just, you know, really focus on the ideas of what we're learning, how to get the information, how to process the information, and how to then do the assignments, which are generally lots of writing assignments. It's not a lot of quizzes. There are a few, but it's a lot of writing. And I think the general level of education for online schools is like higher than it is. Like, it's more challenging than if you were just doing homeschool. I mean, if you're going to school. And that's probably because they're trying to prove that you're doing something. So, but, you know, we're able to, you know, I like that freedom of not saying, okay, now it's time for math class. Like, we just don't do it that way. We pick something we're going to focus on for that day. And we'd probably get through 3 or 4 days worth of studying just in that one time, because we're only focusing pretty much on 1 or 2 subjects. So, and I do that with Audrey too. And that helps us, you know, I think once you see that and you realize how nice that is, I think anyone who's ever gone to a regular school would be like, why did they make us do that? Why did they make us sit there and try to learn something in 50 minutes? That's not enough time to process anything. It's not enough time to really grasp it and move on and connect things that really should be connected immediately. It's not good that way. So I really like it a lot, and we've been able to do pretty good, I think, with it. So but Kate's having a lot of fun, and I try to ask her how she's feeling. If she's feeling a little tired that day, then we don't do something that's too hard. But she's been really enjoying learning about we're doing ancient history right now, so she's been enjoying learning about about Egypt and ancient Greece and stuff. So that's been kind of fun. So but yeah, so I thought I'd tell you guys really quickly what our schedule is like every day, because I'm sure some people wonder what we do. And this is because we have 2 kids at home, and pretty much both of them are doing homeschooling, and they both do, beyond homeschool, they also educate themselves so much in guitar and bass and stuff. So we usually I get up around 6:30 maybe, and slowly wake the girls up, and maybe they're finally awake by a little after 7, and once everyone's awake, then we put the beds away, and then they get ready to practice guitar. So we get up, they get dressed, and while I or Masa are making breakfast, then the girls practice. And they usually do 3 or 4 songs in the morning, and it's something that they're trying to do repetitively so that they can really master it. So that's sort of the songs that are always chosen for that time. They do that every time in the morning while we're getting ready for breakfast. And then after they're done with that, it's right at the time when breakfast is ready. So we eat breakfast, and then we kind of all hang out and talk about what our day is going to be. Try to decide what we're going to do for live, which always is like really challenging. It's like, what are we going to do today? I have no idea. We're trying to keep it interesting. I don't know. We're kind of, I feel like sometimes we're like being a little repetitive, but we're just having fun with you guys. So that's all that matters. But we think about those things. And then right after that, Kate and I start our studying time, and Audrey does some work on, keeping to date some of her daily like diaries and journals that she keeps. So while she's working on that, Kate and I study for about an hour, and in between that time, around an hour after the hour's done, the girls they do some like kind of dance time, if you will, where they kind of goof around and just move around for a little bit and have fun and listen to music really loud for like 15 minutes. And after that, Kate comes back and still works with me on stuff, and Audrey draws for about 30 minutes. So we have all that time, and there's a few minutes there where if Kate's looking like a little tired from doing the homeschool, I give her like 10 or 15 minute break, and she'll use that time to maybe play Nuclear Throne with her dad, or watch some videos on YouTube. So but she gets 10 or 15 minutes, and then we get right back into doing stuff. Once all that's done, then we go on from there to, why can't I think of what we do after that? Yeah, normally we try to get ready to do live, yeah. And once that's all ready and we've set everything up and we do live, and then we eat lunch, and then after lunch we go say hi to the dog if it's not raining. And I try to train him. I'm trying. It's so not useful at all. He's not getting it at all. He only listens to me if I have really yummy ham, and then he'll do what I tell him to do. But today was raining, so we couldn't do that. But we go outside and walk around. They give water to the spinach plant that Kate planted. We do all those sorts of things outside for a little bit. Then we come back inside and we get going again on the next kind of chunk of the day. And this time I teach Audrey. And during that time, then Kate does some other things on her own. She does some Japanese studying. And after we finish studying, then they take another little break. Usually by about that time, it's time for a snack. Maybe we have a little snack. And then after that, the girls will probably do some guitar practice if they didn't do that during live. If they did it during live, then they're kind of done for that part of the main general, Audrey tries to do, in the morning she does right guitar only. Then in the afternoon, when her and Kate practice, that's when Audrey practices lefty. So if she did do a live where she did lefty, she doesn't have to do that. So kind of depends on the schedule. But if it's a time where she hasn't done that, then her and Kate will do like 3 or 4 songs. And then after that, Kate will take a break, and then she'll start doing some of the things she does in the evening, which she's sort of studying, which is, using Mario Maker and using Dreams. And then she also takes a little break after that, and then does her DJ practice, and she does like 2 or 3 songs when she does that. In the meantime, Audrey continues her guitar practice, and that's when she does acoustic practice and her foot bass practice, and also practices the canon rock. So she spends all that time doing that for about like 30 minutes or so. And then when all that is finished, while they're working on all that, we cook dinner and we have dinner. And when dinner's finished, we hang out and talk for a little bit. And then we all write in our little journals for like 5 minutes. And then we have Audrey and Kate and I, the 3 of us, we have like a reading time. So we read for 10 or 15 minutes all together. And then after that, it's time to pretty much get ready for bed. So everybody gets ready for bed, and then we take turns. Everybody gets to choose that night what we're going to do together to play, and either you do something together, or you could be totally selfish and say you're going to just do whatever you want, and it could be just your time. So like when Animal Crossing first came out, I was like, okay, you guys go do what you want to do. I want 15 minutes to just play Animal Crossing by myself. Or we might do something all together. We play, different games. We play card games. We play, we get out, Mario Kart and things like that with our Switches and stuff. So we try to do different, kind of fun things. A lot of times when it's Kate's turn, she wants us all to play Minecraft. So we all have our iPads and we all have Minecraft and we play that together. So usually by the time everyone's all done with everything, Kate usually goes to bed around 10:30 and Audrey usually goes to bed around 12. And that took me a long time to get used to, because when I was a kid, I had to go to bed, even in high school. When I was a senior in high school, I had to be in bed on a school night by 10 at the latest. But both my parents are teachers, and so they were very strict about that, and it was probably a good idea. I had to get up really early to go to school. School started at 7:30, and I was in a class in the morning that started earlier than the other classes. I had to be there at 7. So it was probably a good idea. I think it was a smart move on their part, but it took me a while to get used to. In Japan in general, kids just stay up really late. But we try to make sure the girls get good sleep so that they, don't get tired and stuff in the day. Because when they don't get enough sleep, we can tell that they, don't feel good and stuff. So we try to make sure to take care of that they get enough sleep. So we definitely shoot for 7 or 8 hours a day. That's why Kate goes to bed a little earlier, and then Audrey stays up a little later. And that's the day. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys wanted to know that, but that's what we do every day. And really, that's like what we do every day. Every single day is pretty much the same. We even on the weekends, it doesn't really, we still do studying and everything. Today on Sunday, when we have Tech Cleanse Day, we kind of, Kate and I still study in the morning, but by after lunch is when we have our like 6 or 8 hour block of either no internet or just at the very least no iPads, where we can't watch, do mindless things like watch YouTube or check Twitter or look at Pinterest photos, which I do all the time. So we have to put those away. We might still be able to use the internet for things and work and stuff. And other times we do a full out, complete no internet kind of time, but we at least try to limit some of what we do. So, and on those days, Audrey might be working more on video editing instead of studying with me. That's what she's doing today. So it kind of depends on the day, but pretty much every day is the same. We get up about the same time every day. So we kind of have to remind ourselves what day is today. Because we get a little confused, but that's how we do stuff. And so I think, it gives us a good amount of time to cover everything, and we're really busy and always moving and doing something next. and it makes you feel at the end of the day like you've really got a lot done. I hear all these people talking, and a lot of Audrey's friends are saying online that they're so bored that they have nothing to do. And I'm like, God, man, if I had like nothing to do, I'd be so happy. I'd have like a million things listed up that I'd like to do. But I know a little how that feels like when you're a teenager. There are places and times where you feel like there's really nothing to do. But, man, you know, there's so many fun things to do right now, though. That's hard. So, but we have a good time. We try to, you know, because we've been at home, we do a lot more baking, we do a lot more cooking. I make bread a lot, as you guys know, and stuff. So, and the time it takes me to make dinner is a lot longer than it used to be, but we get to have a lot of fun stuff and have a good time. So I think it's a good thing to spend some time doing that if we can. So, but the only way you can squeeze that in is if you gotta keep the motions going of going to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So we kind of run a little, you know, strict schedule, but it's got a good balance of, okay, we did this, okay, now break. Okay, you did this, okay, break. Okay, you did this, break. So it works pretty good for everybody. And that goes for everybody. We all take breaks too. So yeah, so that's how we spend a day. And this video is probably not 8 hours long. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the community place, and, you know, or in chat as in a live stream if you want. You know, on Facebook, I sometimes read there. But, or on Instagram, Audrey will tell me there from that. So if you guys have any comments or anything, just let me know. And I'll try to have some more news for you guys later on. So thanks again for all of your support, and you guys all take care of yourselves and all of your family and friends, please. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.